I think for a lot of us, transitions can be a great tool that we can explore in terms of understanding how we show up in the world, how we operate. You know, I think to some degree we're always in a transition of some form or another, right? You can think early on, you know, getting out of high school and either getting into trade school, military, the workforce, college, you know, and then kind of transitioning through those next stages. We're always in a transition. And learning how we show up, you know, learning how I show up in a transition. Do I seek advice from others who have gone before me? Do I just, you know, sack up and think I know everything and just jump, you know, headfirst into something? You know, are there parts of me that resist those transitions? You know, but how we manage transitions in our lives getting an understanding of that can really help us as we want to change and level up how we show up in the world. You know, and I think for me, learning common distinctions around that journey helps to kind of put it into a framework, you know, whether you look at the transition of the hero's journey and how that plays a role in our life on a continual basis. But I think as men, you know, as we become householders, fathers, husbands, we've got a mortgage, we've got a profession, whether we own a business, we work for people, or maybe we just punch a clock. Maybe we don't even call it a career. Maybe we just call it, you know, a job that we go to. But how we transition through, you know, and especially now in our, you know, 30s, 40s, 50s, where we've also got aging parents. We've either got sick or aging parents. We're always in a transition, and it's great. It's a great lens or it's a great kind of magnifying glass if we can start to take a look at how we operate in transitions, how we show up or resist. And I think for many of us that this framework of the hero's journey can really be great. I mean, being separated from a known, right? So you're becoming a householder is a transition where you've gone from only really needing to care for yourself to now we've got children, we've got a spouse, we've got a house we're taking care of. Chances are we have some kind of profession or work. You know, that separation from that kind of individualistic life to then one of being a member of of your own tribe that you're building. You know, and how we show up for that. Do we lean on substance? Do we throw ourselves into work when things get tough, work or exercise or hobby? You know, do we resist certain things and lean on substance or behaviors to get through those sticky places? Or do we show up to that initiation that's really asking us to either learn a new skill, develop a new skill that we apply, change how we view the world, you know, show up to emotions that are coming up that maybe we don't want to feel. But I think understanding how we operate and how we get through transitions is a great tool that can help us to level up, that can help us to seek mentors, guidance, outside information, whether it's people that have gone before us or it's, you know, maybe therapy, or if there's 12-step work that we think could benefit us. You know, men's group is great because you sit with a group of men and you realize, wow, like they're also dealing with mortgage and relationship challenges and being a parent and balancing work-life balance and having aging parent. They're also in the same boat I am. You know, many of us as men feel, you know, we'll take it on the chin. We think we're the only one who's going through what we're going through, you know, and instead recognizing in community like a men's group or a 12-step scenario that, oh, like there are many people going through what I'm going through. Oh, there are many people who resist these emotions or resist these challenges in the same ways that I do. You know, for many of us, you know, we lean on, you know, spectator sport. We've got to watch all the games. You know, we've got to be at the pub watching the games, you know, or an easy one is we throw ourselves into work. But if we can start to understand what we're resisting, whether that's feelings of being trapped, feelings of, fear around being able to provide, being the provider, and how we can balance being still the individual and taking care of ourselves, whether that be exercise, a spiritual practice, a mindful practice, being in nature, whatever that is, how we can kind of take care of ourselves, take care of the tribe, our family, and recognizing how we go through transitions, so I think the hero's journey can be a great lens and a framework to give us these kind of common distinctions, how we traverse life and how we resist versus accept certain situations. I think another one, that fundamental operating system, when we can take a deep dive into those behaviors, those common, coping mechanisms that men use, whether it be leaning on substance, throwing ourselves into work, exercise, hobby, screens, whether we lose hours on video games or hours on shows, or being spectators looking at, sport, and kind of understanding, what am I resisting? What are the emotions that are driving this coping mechanism, this avoidant behavior? And then really kind of getting down to, what are my beliefs? What are the beliefs I carry that no longer serve me? So I think transitions can be a great entry point. Understanding how we make it through transitions. What are the common ways that we show up in the world when things are changing, when things are somewhat uncertain, whether that be career change, new relationship or relationships ending. Now that we've got aging parents, maybe there's a parent that's sick that needs more care. There's a family member that needs more care. Becoming fathers and as children, age and grow, like the challenges when you've got elementary school kids are different than the challenges you've got high school kids. And I think being able to look at our transitions and how we do can be a great way to start the process of understanding how we operate. This concept of the hero's journey, while there's a macro kind of cradle to the grave hero's journey, what are you here to learn in this lifetime? Who are you here to be? How do you express your authentic self? But also, I think we deal with thousands of kind of acute or micro heroes journeys as we transition through so many different stages in life, and how we show up, the separation from that life that has been known and then being thrust into an initiation. Do I not take the call and level up? Do I not learn that new skill that's going to help me in the next stage? Do I hide from it? Do I run from it? Do I lean on somebody? Do I lean on old patterns? Or do I accept the challenge, learn the new skill, read the books, take the course, do the therapy, or take the advice that was given me, and then do I show up differently, and then do I return to my world, that elevated version of myself? I think if we can really look, when I've really been able to look at transitions, I found where I fall into a little boy. I fall into a little boy who's scared of the change, doesn't want the change, scared of the outcome. And then from that place of fear, I'm not going to create something that I'm going to want to then be living in the next 5 years. I'm going to take that job. I've taken that job that a friend just, we're hiring. Taking that, the second I'm in, and I'm like, I didn't even find a bathroom yet, and I was looking for the exit. Versus being able to create an opportunity for myself, which has been so much more rewarding. So I think, for me, these common distinctions of being able to get a framework around how I operate, how I show up habitually in times of change and times of uncertainty can be a great way to kind of look at, how do I want to show up? What are the things that I do that no longer serve me, that I can pivot, that I can go learn a new skill. I can go learn a way to approach a transition in a more empowering way, by not leaning on this, by not leaning on that, by asking for help, by going in and assessing what's the better version of myself on the other side of this. Okay, what are the tools that I'm going to need now to then be in that better place. And yeah, to me, I think transitions can be a great place to put our behavior under the microscope and really kind of understand how we operate, how we tick, and then to get a better idea of how I'd like to show up into